Hi. So, people have requested that I make some videos. Hi. Hi. So, people have requested that I make video versions of my movie summaries. And last night I watched a movie and then I washed my face, shaved my face, put on some makeup, made my hair look not frizzy, and I recorded a video based on that movie. Moments ago, I decided I would try something else. Instead of going over a movie that I've just watched, I'm going to review a movie that I watched 20 years ago and have not seen since. And that movie is Gone with the Wind. Again, I saw this movie about 20 years ago. I hated it. I wish I had that 4 hours of my life back. I have not looked up anything about this film in preparation for this video. I've forgotten a lot of stuff. Okay, so we start in the South. I think Georgia. That sounds right. We're in this big southern mansion, and Scarlett O'Hara lives there, I think. And all of these slaves are kind of walking outside, like kind of marching or whatever, and one of them says, "Don't worry, Miss Scarlett. We'll kill those Yankees," or something like that. Can you already tell why this movie is terrible? And Scarlett O'Hara, she's kind of bitchy, or she has a reason to be, though, in her mind. Her cousin, wait, no, was it her friend? No, her crush, whose name is Ashley, is marrying, like, this frenemy of hers, whose name is I Married My Cousin. Let's go with that. Automatically, we're going for stereotypes of the South that happened for a reason. So she's like really mad at this woman whose name I can't remember, and she's really upset with Ashley because she's like, "I should have gotten Ashley." Meh. And then this other guy, played by Clark Gable, the Scarlett's played by Vivian Lee, Clark Gable, whose character's name I cannot remember. It wasn't worth it in my brain to remember details about this movie, so I'm doing my best. So Clark Gable's character, he's like, "Why don't we get married?" And she's like, "Pass." And he's like, "Well, how about a marriage for fun?" And she's like, "How would being married to you be fun if I don't like you?" And he's like, "Just do it." And she's eventually like, "Fine." So they get married. Ashley and I Married My Cousin go off I don't remember what happens to them right away. So Clark Gable and Scarlett O'Hara, they get married, they move in together, and Scarlett O'Hara keeps saying no to the sex part of marriage. And Clark Gable is like, "Have sex with me." And she's like, "No. Pretty sure I made it very clear when I married you that I was not interested. I swiped whatever direction means no." And Clark Gable goes, "Have sex with me." And she goes, again, "No." In no uncertain terms. No, no, no. And he goes, "You're gonna have sex with me no matter what." Ah. And he picks her up, and he takes her up the stairs and has sex with her. And we know that because she gets pregnant. So, I guess marital rape just didn't exist back then as a thing. So I guess fans of this movie are just fine with marital rape. There's really no way around it. That's what we call it. But she seems to forgive him very quickly. So she gets pregnant, has a baby. They kind of skip over a lot of her pregnancy, if not all of it. Haven't seen the movie in a while. Maybe they did. Cut to, she's given birth, and the baby is remarkably clean and has big blue eyes. Clark Gable is like, "I'm gonna call her Blue Eyes," or whatever he calls her. And somebody else is like, "They all have blue eyes when they're born. Their eyes might change." And he's like, "No, I'm right. No, blue eyes." I don't remember if he actually did it like that, but he's an asshole rapist, so whatever. Scarlett O'Hara, she had this thing happen to her earlier in the movie where she was very close to her father, I think. And her father was like on a horse doing jumping or something. He jumped the wrong way, and instead of getting Christopher Reeved, he just died. So that's sad. So their daughter, who they just cut to her being a lot older and riding a horse. So however old she is, she's okay to ride a horse. Child safety laws don't exist yet either. Scarlett O'Hara gets like this feeling that something bad's gonna happen, and she's like, someone on a horse? No. No, 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 no. And the daughter dies. And it's super sad. And Clark Gable, like whatever was kind of keeping him attached to Scarlett is kind of gone now. He doesn't, more and more, he just doesn't give a shit. Like, she really doesn't like him. But also, she's terrible. It's a bunch of terrible people doing terrible things to each other. So it's Housewives? I don't know. Or Housewives? Or Ashley and I Married My Cousin. I can't remember exactly what they've been doing this whole time. Scarlett kind of does a thing with Ashley. I don't know if she like full on seduces him. I don't know if she like tries to, but it's a thing that like everybody's kind of like done with her. She's invited to this thing from I Married My Cousin, and Clark Gable is like, you're gonna wear red because that's what you're like. Like, she's a harlot. Like, she's a Scarlet harlot. But she looks good in red, so joke's on him. And so she goes there. He makes her go over there when everyone hates her. This is like supposed to be her punishment. And she kind of puts on her bitch face, which, you know what? Good for her. Good for her for just lean into it. If you're gonna go there, go all the way. And no one's nice to her, obviously. They all kind of hate her. So some other stuff happens. At some point, Clark Gable just leaves. For whatever, Army. Yes, it's the Civil War. Civil War. He's doing Civil War stuff. Let's just go with Civil War stuff. Maybe Ashley was doing Civil War stuff. Okay, so he's been gone for a while, and Scarlett is struggling. She's kind of, she's poor now or something. She's like suddenly poor. And she doesn't have servants and slaves anymore to work the land. So she's working her own land and she's planting and everything. And the land she has, it's called Terra, which, you know, very clever naming your land Terra. I get it. I know words. There's a famous line in the movie where she goes, "As God is my witness, I'll never go hungry again." It's not better when she does it. And so she's working all this stuff by herself. She wants Clark Gable back now for what reasons, I don't know. Oh, probably money. She probably wants him back for money. So somehow they find each other, and she puts on like this fancy dress and does herself up, basically trying to hide the fact that she's poor. And he holds her hands, and he's like, "Wait, what is this? You have calluses on your hands. You've got calluses. That means that you're poor. That shows that you've been working and actually doing stuff." He's like, "No woman that I'm raping is gonna have calluses on her hands. When I rape women, I want them to have smooth hands." Am I leaning too much into the fact that he raped her? So, bunch of stuff happens. More stuff happens. She does some other struggling. And she does some more struggling. And Clark Gable comes back for a little bit. And she finally realizes that she loves him. I don't know what brought that on. But she's like, "Oh, this person that I hated because I didn't get to marry the guy that married his cousin. This guy I married into with no love, suddenly I love him." And he goes, "Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn." Which is the famous line in the movie. She finally realizes she loves Clark Gable. He's come back for whatever, I don't know. Something happened that now he's back. And she's like, "I love you, and you need to come back to Terra, Terra, Terra." They say Terra 300 times in the movie. The land is very important to them. And he says, "Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn," which is a very famous line. And then she crawls out to the back. She's all sad she's all sad. And she goes, "Tomorrow is another day." The end. And just to be clear, everything I'm describing is super boring. Like, I'm sure this video is not very interesting. The movie's worse. I just saved you 4 hours. I don't know how to end the video.